Greetings and welcome to Cyber Focus, your source for international business information. My name is Jimmy Betcher, and our guest today is Robert Klemkosky. Dr. Klemkosky is the founding dean of the new Graduate School of Business at SKKU University in Seoul, Korea. The new school is collaborating with MIT's Sloan School of Management and is being financially supported by the Samsung Foundation. Dr. Klemkosky is also the Fred T. Green Professor Emeritus of Finance here at the Kelley School and previously served as the Finance Department Chair and Associate Dean. He earned his BA and PhD from Michigan State and his MBA from Michigan. He joins us today to discuss his experiences in Korea. Dean Klemkosky, we're very pleased to have you with us, and welcome.
Pleased to be here.
First off, I guess kind of one of the biggest things that's been going on in your life is building a new elite MBA program in Korea. What motivated you to take on this kind of a big challenge?
Well, I'd been here at Indiana University for almost 30 years, all in the finance department, several administrative jobs, and this seemed like something very different and a very different challenge. So there weren't many opportunities to build a program like this in the world, so I just said, why not? So I kind of left IU, but I never left Bloomington and IU. I always had an office here when I came back in the summer and so forth. And we built a bunch of programs where a lot of IU faculty have come to Korea, so it's almost like I never left.
Yeah. How did you learn about the opportunity, or how did you get involved originally?
Well, I was setting in Bloomington here in October of 2003, and I get a call from Sungkyunkwan University, which they called SKKU. From the president's office, and he said, I want to come over, or the staff said he wants to come over and visit you, and I didn't know, had no idea why. So I kind of ran around, made a 3-day schedule for him, talking to the dean of the school, and he didn't want to see the president here because it was an informal visit. So they came and said, this is what we want you to be the founding dean of the school, and we want you to start in January 2004, and the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there have been some surprises. Any unforeseen surprises you'd like to share from the experience, or some interesting stories from along the way?
Well, obviously there is a cultural difference. I'm not big on cultural differences. I think there's probably more commonality among people than differences. But so going there in 2004 and starting a program in August of 2004 was hard. It was a lot of hard work, and the staff had to get more used to me than me getting used to them, because they just weren't used to Western management style and things like that, including the associate deans. But we've over the years built a staff that understands how American school operates, and that's what we're trying to be as a U.S. program in Korea. So language is sometimes a barrier, but one of the things we had was a car driver, and he could speak English, so that's probably been the biggest perk that we've had. We didn't even think to ask for it, they offered it, but he's been a great help. Our driver who's been with us the whole time has been a great help, not only to me, but to my wife, who's out and about the city a lot more than I am.
You've stated that your goal is to kind of create the premier MBA program in all of Asia. What do you think it's gonna take to get SKKU to that point?
Well, I think it just is going to take time to build a reputation. We're taking on schools in Hong Kong and Singapore primarily. Those are the primary schools. There are a few in China, but we consider our competition to be in Singapore and Hong Kong. So it's going to take time, and it's going to take more resources, and reputation building is what has to happen.
Now, the Graduate School of Business there has a rather unique relationship here with the Kelley School and Indiana University more broadly. Could you share a little bit about what that relationship looks like?
Well, the first thing we did when we started the MBA program is we didn't have enough faculty, so we brought a lot of Kelley faculty over to teach. And then after a few years, we started a dual degree MBA program. They spend 1 year with us, they come to Kelley 1 year, and they get 2 degrees. And then after a few years, we started an executive MBA program that is taught maybe 55% by Kelley, 45% by our faculty, but a lot of the teaching is in Korea. So that's why we see a lot of Kelley faculty over there. So I think over time, there have been over 30 Kelley faculty have come to Korea to teach. So we've kind of, broadened their vision too.
Yeah, for sure.
And certainly in terms of Asia and how dynamic Asia is. Then there's another business school there that teaches in Korea, but they started an English undergrad program, and our school teaches in that, but those students can go there 2 years, come to Kelley 2 years, and they get 2 undergrad degrees.
Oh, wow.
And then we started the JD MBA with the Maurer School of Law here at IU, and we send students back and forth. So we've had 3 or 4 students from there get MBAs from our school. So, and then Econ's involved, and the two law schools are involved. So there is a lot of joint interaction between the 2 universities.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a unique opportunity that, a mutually beneficial relationship on both sides.
Yeah. So, SKKU as well as IU, they sign hundreds of MOUs, but this is a significant relationship. This is the kind of relationship that President McRobbie likes to have, that Dean Dan Smith likes to have. So there's something there other than more than just the MOU. So we certainly have benefited from our relationship with the Kelley School, and University. SKKU has benefited.
Kind of shifting topics a little bit. In the time that you've been in Korea, have you seen the trade relationship between the United States and Korea grow or shift or evolve in any ways?
Well, I think on the part of Korea, it's shifted. You go back to when I first started going to Korea, and most of the exports were the United States. But right now, exports to China are twice what they are to the United States. So China has become very, very important to Korea, not only for exports, but for direct investment. So China has become a much bigger trade partner for Korea than the U.S. is now. So that's one of the biggest changes.
Do you see any implications with those changes for business here in Indiana potentially, or maybe some implications of the strong relationship between IU and SKKU for potentially being able to be leveraged by Indiana businesses as well? To help either considering, Indiana business considering entering the Korean market or working with Korean partners or potentially Korean investment here in Indiana.
Yeah, one thing I have done, a couple of cities have heard about me being in Korea, and they have, when they send representatives to Korea, I've entertained them and tried to make some introductions. So yeah, I'm trying to help on the economic development side here at Indiana as best I can in Korea. So I think it's worked in a couple cases. I think Columbus has been successful in getting some Korean firms involved and so forth. So I do what I can. If they know I'm there, I'm always available.
Great. Well, I think that's all the time that we have for today. Dean Klemkosky, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate your insights.
My pleasure.
Thank you for tuning in. If you have topics that you'd like to discuss in a future episode of Cyber Focus, please contact the Center for International Business Education and Research here at the Kelley School.